Oh. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om and good evening from Niagara Falls. If you study the lives of some of our recent masters, you take Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna first focused on Bhagwan in a murti. Then he found that same Bhagwan in himself, and then found that same Bhagwan in all beings. Sri Ramana was the same way. He found Bhagwan in Arunachala. He found Bhagwan in himself. He found Bhagwan in all beings, in Lakshmi the cow, Jackie the dog. If you study Swami Chinmayananda, and the movie On a Quest highlighted this a lot, he found Bhagwan in Bhagwan Shiva in an altar. He found Bhagwan in himself. And then he shared this same feeling with all beings. How beautiful is Sanatana Dharma that there are specific institutions that help us find Bhagwan. And that first institution is a mandir, where the focus is the karma kanda. The focus is to see that ideal in a murti. The evolution of that is to shift to an ashram, where the message is the jnana kanda, where to find Bhagwan in yourself. And the evolution of that, from mandir to ashram, is to the jagat, where all beings, that's humans, that's animals, that's plants, that's stones, that same Bhagwan is present. You have to know this path to be able to walk this path. And Srimad Bhagavad Gita is that transition between finding Bhagwan in a mandir and finding Bhagwan in the jagat. Right now, Bhagwan Krishna is trying to teach Prince Arjuna and all of us to find Bhagwan in ourselves. Last week, when we focused on section 4.6, we went deep into what action is. And action is not to be understood at a movement level. Action is to be understood at a motive level, specifically the presence of doership. If ahankara is there, aham karoti, that I am doing, that is action. And with action comes results, and we are stuck. But if you're tuning into the secrets of our shastras, this ahankara, this I am doing, is mithya, is an illusion. The secret of our shastra is that there is only Bhagwan. For all of those in our Vedanta and in Ramayana class, we just completed this year's study with Sri Lakshmana Gita, where Guha, the Nishada Raja, asks Sri Lakshmana, who is this Bhagwan Rama, who he's told to become the king? He is balanced. He is told to go to the forest. He is balanced. He's sleeping with a duvet. He's balanced. He's sleeping on the floor. He's balanced. Who is he? And Sri Lakshmana Gita goes into this beautiful, highly Advaitic teaching. And Guha feels very good about all of this. And the next morning, when Bhagwan Rama tells Sumantra to tell Raja Dashrata that we miss him, that we love him, Sri Lakshmana at that time says the exact opposite. We don't miss. Go tell our father we don't miss him, that we don't love him. And Bhagwan Rama stops Sri Lakshmana right there. And this makes us understand that it's very easy to preach. It is difficult to practice, even for Sri Lakshmana. And so where did Sri Lakshmana get all of this jnana from? It was Bhagwan Rama who was speaking through Sri Lakshmana to Guha. There is only Bhagwan. And I tell you, this is what is unique about Chinmaya Mission. If you study some other organizations, they try to avoid using the word Bhagwan, the presence of God. They like to promote the therapeutic benefits of breathing, of having a calm mind. They like to promote, you'll be a better business person, you'll be a better spouse, and on and on and on. And that's fine, you're just going to be better in the world. But it's still you in the world, when reality is, Jiva and Jagat are both Jagadishvara, no? There is no avoidance of Bhagwan. We study Bhagwan's words and try to understand the secret that there is Bhagwan. So though this course is based on jnana, Vedanta and Ramayana's jnana bhakti, please try to feel, if you're feeling more that Bhagwan is in front of you, Bhagwan is beside you, Bhagwan is in you. Because if you are, then you're tuning into chapter 4, which is to let go of deservership. Everyone's tuning into what I'm sharing. Okay. We continue to section 4.7. If you're near your computer, what is the difference between succumbing to yourself versus accepting yourself? What is the difference between succumbing to yourself versus accepting yourself? In English, they may be the same, but they're not in practice. Growth, death versus life. We like to throw out those big words. Good. Everyone is thinking. I'm going to pick up on what someone has shared here. Succumbing is, this is who I am, and I'm not going to change. Succumbing. Accepting is, this is who I am, and I'm going to try to change. See, in acceptance, if you don't accept who you are, you don't know how to change. So there has to be that level of, this is who I am. And from there, change has to happen. When we succumb, we identify with the mind only. When we accept, we begin to identify with the intellect. See, in this Bhagavad Gita, we have to understand that it is the intellect that is trying to compete with the mind. Last week, I used the word spardha. And I said spardha is pardha. When you look at other people as competition, you're blocking Bhagwan from your own vision. The only competition should be between the intellect and the mind. And the more the intellect instructs the mind, the less deservership there will be. Because right now the mind thinks, I am the doer, so I'm the deserver. But the intellect who can inquire more will realize, am I really the doer? Am I really the deserver? One solid way to know if we have less deservership in our lives is if we have less anger in our lives. Okay, very transparent. The more deservership, the more anger. The less deservership, the less anger. You take, for example, when there's an awards ceremony, when there's a program, and people are recognizing such and such person. If you have a lot of deservership and you're not recognized, or you're recognized but a little bit, you feel angry, no? But if recognition is going on and you're mentioned a little bit or not at all, if you don't have that deservership, fine. What difference does it make? To help us let go of deservership, Bhagavan Krishna explains yajna. If you're near your computer, what does yajna mean in English? Please get this right. Please get this right. Good. It means dedication. It does not mean sacrifice. When you write sacrifice, you're taking this literally. You have to take this at an implied level. Yajna comes from the root yaj, which means to unite. To unite. When we are dedicated, we're trying to unite ourselves with what we're dedicated to. Naturally, that will involve sacrifice, but dedication pulls sacrifice. And so in chapter 4, Bhagavan Krishna, from shloka 24 all the way to 30, highlights 12 different yajnas, 12 different sadhanas or means to bring more dedication into our lives, to purge deservership from our lives. And he begins with a yajna that we all know about, we all chant. What is the first yajna that's highlighted in chapter 4 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita? What do we now call it? Our before meals prayer. See, prayer is the last word there. There's before meals and then prayer. And why this before meals prayer? Because we know we're going to eat. We may as well try to bring Bhagwan there too. I like to call this yajna as drishti yajna. Drishti means vision, the vision of dedication. Now in every yajna, there are 4 parts. Please try to tune into this because these teachings will become more real then. Part number 1, the offerer. That's with an ER, offerer. Next, the offering. That's with an ING. Next, offered to. That's with the ED, offered to. And the 4th part of every yajna is dedication or purpose. Offerer, offering, offered to, dedication, purpose. Now I keep bringing up this word ahankara. I am doing, so I should be deserving. So the offerer in a typical yajna, no, I don't even know why I'm saying typical, I mean every yajna, is the ego. Who is the offerer? The ego. For someone who's divine, they don't need to engage in yajna. They don't need to engage in sadhana. It is the ego. The offering and the offered to may be different. The dedication or purpose is Brahman. So going from ahankara to Brahman or from ego to divinity. So what is the purpose of a yajna? It is to let go of that ego by holding on to Brahman. Now I had shared last week that I actually took up these shlokas at our Understanding Marriage Retreat last month. And I had shared how in shloka 24, if you apply this directly to a marriage or any relationship, who is the offerer? The ego. What is the offering? The offering is unity. What is the offered to? Our spouse. And what is the purpose? Joy. So how does this drishti yajna look in a relationship? My wife is sitting across from me. So Vivek, the ego, what do I offer? Unity. Unity is very comprehensive. It may mean saying sorry. It may mean being more disciplined, more generous. Whatever unity means. Why? Or who am I giving this to? To my spouse. And the purpose or the dedication in all of this is for joy. How beautiful these yajnas are shared and even more beautifully practiced. Drishti yajnas in Shloka 24. And the remaining 11 yajnas are simply training in a specific way to get to this drishti yajna, where everything that you do is a yajna. You are dedicated to enlightenment. So some yajnas are the sense objects go into the sense organs. Some yajnas is you breathe in, you breathe out. That's all to get to this drishti yajna. So right in Shloka 24, Bhagavan sets up this model and says this is how you can do it. And he gives 12 or 11 examples for that drishti yajna. Really, everything we do can be a yajna. He only gives us some models to work with. In all of these yajnas, the key is knowledge. See, in some sadhanas you have to know and do. But one of the yajnas Bhagavan brings up is jnana yajna, where you just have to know. And with that knowing, that ego becomes irrelevant. It is in this chapter where we study nahi jnanena sadrisham, that there is nothing that is comparable to jnana. Pavitram iha vidyate. You should know no one can be purified in a more powerful way than through such jnana. Okay? Now Bhagavan follows this section of chapter 4 with a teaching on if you really want jnana, how are you going to bring this into your life? And that comes in Shloka 34. Everyone, please note this down. In Shloka 34, Bhagavan Krishna shares that if you really want jnana, you must understand and appreciate Shloka 34. In fact, Swami Tejamayana told us that all of Viveka Chudamani, which is like 550 shlokas, is simply a bhasha or commentary on this one shloka. Viveka Chudamani is a prakarana grantha. It's an introductory text to get to in higher text. If you want jnana, Bhagavan Krishna shares here that you need to have a Sadguru. Now I'm going to open up these words for you. Ru means remover. Gu means ignorance. And Sat means possibility. The one who removes the ignorance about this all being real. The Sadguru lives this. The Sadguru teaches this. The Sadguru works for this. They remove the ignorance that this is impossible. They show us this is possible. And to deserve a Sadguru, see, there's deservership there too, but it's deservership that frees us from worldly deservership. Bhagavan says, pranipata. Pranipata means one has to prostrate at the feet of a master. How should you prostrate? In the reading, it says dandavat. You see my pen right here. When I let go of the balance of this pen, how does it fall? It falls flat. It doesn't slowly curve to hit the ground. It falls flat. In other words, sashtanga. You should practice this when we're done the class. You fall prostrate at your fridge or your oven or your bed. And you'll see 7 parts of your body will be touching the ground. And what is the 8th? It is the mind, the boss of this body. Sashtanga. Now I find, those who are younger, they have a aversion to prostrating. See, you can prostrate and still be a phony, correct? That I'm prostrating, but I actually don't want to receive anything from you. It's such physical gestures that help us to develop the same bhava or feeling mentally. It's like hugging someone. Yeah, you can fake hug someone, but if you hug someone, you tend to feel closer to them. This is the same way. If you ever have a chance to prostrate to someone who you feel you can learn from, do it. Let us not have that ego that, what can I learn from this person? That feeling itself, if we prostrate, we've learned from that person. After pranipata is seva. And you can replace this word seva with upasana. Upa means near, asana means sit. When you sit near someone, you come to see what they see. It's a form of empathy. Seva here means to tune into that Sadguru who has this jnana, who's living a life of yajna. When it comes to seva, you should do the seva that your Sadguru needs you to do, not what you want to do. If you're doing what you want to do, see, pranipata's not been done. If you've fallen flat at the feet of a Sadguru, I will do what you need me to do. That's exactly what Prince Arjuna said. No, guide me definitively. I don't know. You do. Tell me. And the third part of this is pariprashna. Once you've tuned into the Sadguru, then ask that Sadguru, how is it that you live like this? How is it that this is a reality to you and to me it's still mithya? It's so rare to meet a sadhaka who meets or interacts with the Guru Shishya Parampara and actually talks about sadhana, isn't it? We talk about so many things, but we rarely talk about sadhana. When the Sadguru can show us how real sadhana is, that Sadguru is focused on the sadhya, or the destination, the purpose. If you're studying these 3 closely, pranipata, seva, and pariprashna, these 3 combined is what we call samarpana. For all of those people who practice puja, what is the last series of steps? Samarpana. In English, I like to think of samarpana as integrate. It is where you're integrating the body, mind, and intellect to that icon, to that altar. Pranipata, you're offering your body. Seva, offering the mind, likes and dislikes. And pariprashna, the intellect. Didn't I say you have to take the puja from the mandir to the ashram? See how beautifully this is shared. Samarpana. Samarpayami. We can offer stuff, but Bhagavan really wants us. And this chapter wraps up in such a powerful and peaceful way where Bhagavan says, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. That it is only the one with faith that acquires jnana or knowledge. I want to pick up on this word, labha. What does labha mean? What does labha mean? Gain, profit. Okay. What is the greatest labha? What is the greatest gain, benefit, profit? Happiness, the self, growth, moksha, love of Lord. Swami Tejomayananda shares, the greatest labha is serving the Lord. Fourth purushartha, moksha. Fifth purushartha, what's the fifth purushartha? Bhakti. I am free and now I share that same freedom. I feel people like Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramana, and Swami Chinmaya, these are all people who transcended the fourth purushartha and they were synced in with the fifth purushartha, which was to share what they experienced. Just like Hanumanji. When Bhagwan Rama unmanifested himself, didn't Hanumanji stay and carry on Bhagwan Rama's life and teachings and work? The only labha is to serve God. You need to have shraddha to have such a labha. The word shraddha means shraddhate iti shraddha, which means to hold on to the truth, to hold on to Bhagwan. And our shraddha is strong when our circumstances are conducive. But once our circumstances become unconducive, what happens to our shraddha then? That same gratitude turns into skepticism. Bhagwan will test our shraddha by putting us in adversity. That's where this is all hardened. In the writing, I really enjoyed how they shared that each field of knowledge or each science has a different means of knowing that science. Some sciences are known by experience. We call that anubhuti. Some sciences are known by logic, which is called yukti. But if you think of anubhuti and yukti, or experience and logic, they're both finite. What is experience through the body? What is yukti through the mind intellect? The body and the mind intellect cannot know, the spirit cannot know infinitude because they're finite. Brahman, Bhagwan, Vidya, Shastra, Sadguru, they are as if finite. Because technically the Sadguru is also finite, so is the Shastra, so is Vidya. But it's as if they're finite. And why I'm sharing this is because it is only faith where we can hold on to the Sadguru, to the Shastra, and on and on and on. Faith. How do we know we're becoming less of a deserver? When we have more faith that Bhagwan is in front of us, Bhagwan is beside us, Bhagwan is inside of us. The three areas where faith are needed, you need to have faith in the pramata. Pramata means the seeker in yourself. If you don't have faith that you can understand what I'm speaking to you about, are you going to understand what I'm speaking to you about? You have to have faith in yourself. Then comes faith in the pramana. The pramana means. That is the Sadguru, the Shastra. If you don't have faith in who's teaching you, what is being taught, then again, it's like you take a step forward, but then you take that step back. And finally, to have faith in the prameya. Prameya means the destination. That is Brahman, or that is Bhagwan, that is Brahman. So faith is needed in all of these directions. In yourself, Sadguru, Shastra, Vidya, Bhagwan, Brahman. And such a person does reach Brahman. which is the purpose of a yajna, no? If there is a breaking in any of this lineage, it is because of a lack of faith. It is not because of a lack of experience or lack of logic. And we lack this faith in degrees. Bhagavan says there are 3 degrees of lacking. He begins by highlighting people who are ajna. Ajna means people who are worldly. They have no idea of Bhagavan. They only have an idea of the world, so they're focused on the world. Such a person we would call ignorant, ajnana. Next is samshayatma. Samshayatma is someone who's confused. Okay, someone who's confused. They know that there's more to the world, but they don't know what that is. So there's the world and there's God. They know more of the world, so they're focused more on that, but they know there's more because there's a God, so they're confused. Atma, their mind is samshaya, always in doubt. They're very mindly. And the third, ashraddha-dhana. Ashraddha-dhana means the one who is egotistical. Literally, it means the one who's faithless, but it is someone who's egotistical. They are someone who deny Bhagavan, that there is no God. See, the ignorant person doesn't know if there's God or not. The confused person knows that there's a God, but doesn't know enough about it. But the ashraddha-dhana, there is no God. That person is egotistical. If we're worldly or confused or egotistical, we will not have the faith to tune into the labha that is jnana. So strive. Bhagavan Krishna tells Prince Arjuna, uttishta, work, engage in karma, strive. And the more we exert, the more prasada buddhi that will be developed. The more you enjoy putting in effort, the more you will realize that's your prasada. Then what gets purged? Deservership. I've said this so many times about learning to love what you do, learning to love your responsibilities, love for life. And if you do, then you're not interested in pala, in recognition. The more we exert, the more prasada buddhi we will invoke. And if you can do that, you will be ready for chapter 5, which doesn't focus on prasada buddhi, it focuses on arpana buddhi. Not letting go of deservership, but letting go of doership. That magnification becomes much more intense on what we're doing. This is a most glorious chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We began by understanding that the Guru Shishya Parampara begins with Bhagavan Krishna or Bhagavan. We studied that Bhagavan engages in being an avatara. He doesn't fall, he descends to bring back balance. Bhagavan is also the one who authored the Varna Vyavastha. He gave people a way to understand themselves so that they can grow up, so they can become like Bhagavan. With our understanding of our guna, Bhagavan narrated what karma is. That our guna should manifest in such a way where we're realizing the presence of Bhagavan, that doership should be released. And the way to do that is live a life of yajna. Be dedicated. And that will lead to or is facilitated by shraddha. We studied what our lives will be with faith, without faith. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 major sections of Sanatana Dharma are highlighted in this one chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Oh.